Tutok sa kaayuhan ug kamatuoran. Kredibilidad maoy gibarugan.
Ang bagong yugto ng ating himpilan, ang Sunshine Radio, ay SMNI Radio na. Patuloy kaming magbibigay ng mga balita, impormasyon, serbisyo at inspirasyon para sa Diyos at sa Pilipinas nating mahal. Ang SMNI Radio ay magsisilbing totoong boses ng bayan at maaasahan sa panahon ng pangangailangan. Handa ang SMNI Radio na maging kasama sa bawat yugto ng buhay ng mga Pilipino. Inyong maaasahan na patuloy na magsusulong ang SMNI Radio ng pagbabago at pag-unlad. Asahan ang mas pinaigting at mas pinagandang mga programa na ihahatid ng SMNI Radio. Hindi rin mawawala ang mga programang magbibigay inspirasyon at pananampalataya natin sa makapangyarihang Ama sa pamamagitan ng kanyang hinirang na anak, Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy. Tuloy-tuloy sa pagkikinig at panonood dahil sa SMNI Radio, araw-araw kami magsisilbi sa inyo. Maraming salamat sa inyong patuloy na pagtitiwala.
Serbisyong Kapartner ng Bayan. Kapartner ng Bayan. Ania ang tulumanong mo paila sa lain-laing ahensya, organisasyon, personalidad o individual nga andamugahin sa ilang serbisyong Kapartner ng Bayan. Atong sayron ang mataglaka nga nabuhat na ug angay pangbuhaton alang sa ikauswag sa matag komunidad ug sa nasud sa kinatibuk-an. Serbisyong Kapartner ng Bayan. Aniya na ang atong kapartner nga makauban karon.
Alright, good afternoon mga kapartners. Welcome. Pag-usap sa itong programa Serbisyong Kapartner ng Bayan. Kamunong minaw sa kasilian ng DYAR, SMNI Radio Cebu. And of course, mga kapartners, no? Alright, the other day, no, napaminaw to, no, ang ipaghayong press conference sa PALMYRA SIARGAO. So medyo nabitin ta to, kay cut na to into two parts, no. Ang first part na to, the previous one is katong mga opening statement nila, no, medyo taas-taas. And then second part mga partners kining Q&A, no, question and answer portion kauban sa mga media, no. Kay mga curious po na katong mga kapartner na media kining mahitungod nining PALMYRA SIARGAO, no, kay syempre kung naay development dito, no, og syempre dapat mahibalansa nato kinsa ning investors. Ang investors ay taga dito ra po di ay, no. It's good thing na local, no, ang investors, not say partners nga mga taga-laing lugar, pero basically naagi roots, no, sa Siargao. So nagkayusa sila para of course sa ilahang lugar para matabangan pod mga partners economically o matabangan sa ilang mga kapartners dito, no, mga kaigsuunan na matagan pong opportunity in terms of employment and of course, syempre, investment and mga tabang sa ekonomiya, no, sa kinatibuk-an. Ingon po si Mayor Coro nga kining development niini PALMYRA SIARGAO for the very first time adunay luxury condominium nga ito patukod sa mong lugar, no, og very interesting kini og pag kini mag-start na diretso na kay daw kay plano development plan ang PALMYRA SIARGAO, especially kay Ma'am Lynie nga diin mga partners dili lang residences ang ilang pagatukuron, napas sila mga future plans pa para for expansion, no, o kung kini dire-diretso na gyud, no. I'm pretty sure, no, kay dako kaayog chance, no, ang Siargao for development labi na tourism development mga kapartners nga nato gi-mention, no, si architect napaminawan nyo mga kapartners. So bako na, no, ang atong part 2 ug syempre so di na tudugayon paminaw to mga kapartners ang gipahigayong Q&A. Continuation is atong previous episode kauban ang PALMYRA SIARGAO mga kapartners press conference kauban atong mga media sa ilahang mga Q&A. Paminaw to.
My question is for Chairman and the Mayor. First, since this is an ambitious and one of the biggest projects in Siargao, may we know how much is the total investment of the project and what's the timeline of the master plan, and maybe how many residential units you are going to build? And for mayor also, do you have a specific now existing project for environmental management program, example, the solid waste management facilities in Del Carmen also, because this is also one of the problems in the island.
Okay, so with regards to your question, ma'am, it's 8 billion project.
How many?
2 billion. 2B. So we have, since we are on the protected area, we are not allowed to high rise. So we only have three-story. So 250 units. So total of 200 residential units, and we have a party area and the commercial space. And the timeline for the commercial area is about 2 years, but the EPN is in charge.
But the total township, the township,
4 years.
Sakit Township, 4 years.
4 years.
Start sa construction, madam.
We are starting right now the land depth, which is handled by the ECQ, and we are almost done. We are on the next step, which is the road network, and then later on, by next month, the EPN will start the construction for the commercial area. Thank you.
So as they start construction, we also made sure that, again, public facilities and the public sector support is there. In terms of solid waste, we have a working waste-to-fuel technology in Siargao. So, mautong nag-viral. If you guys haven't seen it, you could search about it. It's being cited as a very good model in terms of solid waste management. We also have a septage treatment facility within the town, and it's a very unique modality because we service other towns as well. So it's a very unique PPP model that we operate together with a private partner, because local governments are not really distinct to operate technology-based solutions, especially for waste management. So it's a working model. The waste-to-fuel has been operating since the start of the year. The STP treatment facility has been operating for the last 2 years, supporting 20% of the businesses of the whole island already. So there's no concern in terms of how we're gonna address the waste. We have growing technologies and programs to complement the existing technologies and facilities we have. In 2 weeks, with our support from the DOST under the Green Waves program, we are establishing a technology to remove radial wires in the wheel of the car, so that we could process sa ligid, so that we could process the rubber from the car. So we every waste category, we have a technology and a solution. For glass, we are also working with UST to calibrate a specific type of technology to allow a glass silica as a substitute for sand to be used both in the environmental concerns of sand loss and for construction use. So the standards are being established, and being a known public service innovator in the Philippines, we are leading the charge of how do we really quantify the national standards for use of glass in construction. We are also working with, under the EU GEP program of the European Union, we are the only municipality that's a beneficiary of the Circular Economy Program of the European Union in the Philippines, together with DNR, DILG, and a lot other national government agencies. And with that, we have established a program called Circular Futures that promotes the 10 R's. Now, previously it was only 3 R's for recycling, but we use 10 R's to ensure that whatever potential waste classification that there will be, we have a response and a solution for it in terms of anticipating the growth that will be driven by the investment of Palmyra. We are also looking into other potential technologies and partners in terms of addressing behavioral change to make sure both visitors and locals appreciate the value of what we're trying to do, not again to compromise our ecosystems over developments that are being proposed in Del Carmen and the rest of Siargao. So there's a lot of programs that we are running, and many of the programs that we have done, both in environment and non-environment related public sector related issues and concerns are recognized not only in the Philippines but globally. So we were one of the few local governments invited to speak the United Nations to share about our transformative approaches towards behavioral change and towards environmental governance.
So it will be quick. We don't want to add burden to the project of Mayor. So to speak, Palmyra Siargao would be the benchmark of all the other projects in Del Carmen, knowing that the entire island is a protected area. Okay, first is in the entire complex that we will be doing our own independent sewage treatment plant. And we will be using the MBBR, the microbiofilm biodiversity reactor, and there will be a little bit of reverse osmosis so that we can make use of the wastewater, the gray water. It would be used for the plant and vegetation. And then also, we're so much concerned about the MRF, the materials recovery. We know that the Del Carmen municipality is very much aggressive in doing that, the recycle, but in the complex of Palmyra, we also be doing that independently. And another thing is very much a problem because according to Mayor, you have your own kind of weather. So the kind of the rainwater is very important. Knowing that not all in areas and municipality in the entire Siargao has a very good water supply, but in Cancojoy the water is really a good source, and we will be doing rain harvesting. So there is an assigned cubic meters that we can really harvest the water proprietely, and in our project alone there would be 37 cubic meter that would harvest the water. So that's how we wanted to integrate how responsible we are as a developer. We don't want to add the burden of what Mayor is looking for the entire other because we wanted to set as a benchmark. WDC wanted to be a responsible developer for the entire ecosystem. Second is that this kind of reverse osmosis water will not just be used for flushing the water because it will stay in the water closet. It would really be used to do a lot of vegetation. It can be because you'll be doing a food island. It will be an island food market, meaning to say we have to grow our own vegetables. So according to Mayor, no, don't put on Jollibee, don't put on Starbucks because Siargao is already a brand. So that island food village would really quantify what is the local here in Siargao. So if you wanted to get a good food all over the Philippines, you go to the Palmyra Siargao Island Food Village. Adding to that is how many number of units to be exact. We don't normally call it condominiums, so we wanted to see residences as being emphasized with Atty. The residences we'll be doing 164 studio units it's in your business folder, and it would be big, it would be 35 square meters, not including the balcony. Okay, so we also have the 1-bedroom unit that is 60 square meters, not including the balcony, and for the 2-bedroom it's 80 to 90 square meters, not including the balcony. Why am I emphasizing balcony? Because we wanted that this Palmyra Siargao mayor, attorney, and chairman to be LEED certified and Verde certified, meaning to say we have to make use of the natural lighting and ventilation so that the carbon footprint would be minimized. Okay, all right. That's all.
I'm Kat from Sunstar. Madam, I'd like to know the prices of the units and is it you mentioned mo ganina it's an upscale project, so maybe just know the price range, and also if have you started getting na the LTS from the division.
Okay, for the LTS, we are on the process. So I'm very sorry we cannot disclose about the pricing. But we already have the prices, but for now, we are waiting for the license to sell.
In the upscale, not the middle.
I cannot
Because
for
it's
now.
luxury.
Yeah. I think Attorney Torreón will the best to answer. Maybe
It is going to be a luxurious place but affordable prices. That is the answer to that. But as to the specifics of the price, we cannot yet divulge the same simply because of the fact that I am the lawyer. I do not want my client to be facing cases. We are in the process of securing the license to sell. Yes, we will be informing you that. That is why we need, but just because we don't have the license to sell does not mean that we will just sit down and relax. We have to inform the project that the public that we have this magnificent project so that they would be ready to have the money once we will disclose the prices. I hope you understand.
and in addition to the prices of the condo, although we don't have the LTS, so we can have the commercial. Commercial. We already have the prices for the commercial, and I think it's already on your business folder. So maybe we can give you the commercial prices, not the area is not required by the this one. Yeah, no LTS required. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Rico Osmeña of Daily Tribune and DYLA Cebu Radio. I think, well, the market will be tourism. Is it right, Mayor? No? But basically, if you mentioned already, at least in a day, tourist comes in there, mga 1,000 or something. Okay. Do we have already a data, at least, Mayor, on domestic or the international tourist that comes in? And of course, you've made mention also ang airport. Basically, a lot of complaints that have been raised, I think even in the social media, of the expensive airfare, the air connectivity, and how can we request all these airlines? But in fairness, of course, airlines, okay, until now it's still an airstrip. It's not yet in an airport as if na big Airbus can come in. So how do you strategize right now? And then I think that would eventually, the success of this project would depend on all this air connectivity, even sea connectivity and land connectivity. Thank you.
Thank you for pointing that out. First, in terms of tourist traffic, while the whole country is really impacted by the inflations and everything, we are still seeing a good number of tourists visiting Siargao, and we are expecting for it to grow, especially with the hosting of the World Championships of the WSL this coming October, which is really the surfing season. So with that potential activity, we are seeing a resurgence in terms of tourist traffic, and we hope to see it sustained as I think the Philippine government has committed to host 2026, 2027, and up to 2027. And by 2028, together with Cebu, Siargao will be hosting the ASEAN Youth Games, if I'm not mistaken, but we will be hosting the surfing. So which means there is already a timeline in terms of how we are managing tourism traffic. And we are also getting a lot of tourists a spillover from the tourists of Cebu who would like to experience surfing with our regular daily flights coming mostly from Cebu right now because of the changes in terms of management of small planes in Metro Manila. In terms of the growth and expansion of Siargao Airport, so we are working together with DOTR and the CAAP management, and we're very happy that with the support of the President, there are already plans in play to provide night capability support, which will allow us to have night flights, which might reduce our cost of traveling to Siargao. The second is there's already published interest coming from investors as well in terms of operationalizing Siargao landside airport, landside operations to improve the experience of the tourists coming in and out of the island. Right now, we are expanding the passenger terminal to increase its capacity to absorb 200 tourists to 700 tourists any given time within the airport absorptive capacity of the passenger terminal. And we are also in discussion to review options for our runway to be expanded on the north side because the south side of the runway would impact our mangrove forests, which are very, very important to us. So on the north side, the CAAP was just in Del Carmen last July 15, and there are positive reviews so far of our potential expansion of the runway because we have prepared also the necessary infrastructure to allow the rerouting of the highway. So everything is set as in preparation for the potential runway expansion. So that should allow us to already absorb longer and bigger planes in terms of its capacity to support the landing and takeoff. What we are concerned with right now is the other infrastructure setup and the small mountains within the flight path of how it can be managed together with our expert pilots from the Philippines as we navigate the air traffic movement. And with this new opportunity and our increased and the ongoing investment in terms of the passenger terminal, then definitely there's a lot of potential of how this will be impacting cost of going in and out of Siargao. Right now, we have also collaborated for the last few months with a refueling support mechanism in Siargao Airport. So our airlines, once they have experienced some, say, weather disturbances, do not have to immediately return back to base because of potential fuel loss, because we have now the ability to refuel the airline. So there's minimal cancellation in terms of our aircrafts as long as they're within the area of responsibility already of the Siargao Airport. So there's a lot of investments ongoing over the last few months and a lot more in the next few months. Again, with a strong support from our national government, realizing the value of Siargao in terms of national tourism and potentially the branding of Siargao, of the Philippines in the tourism landscape of Southeast Asia.
All right, we also have one question from
Mayong hapon, Mayor Rowena from DYAR. Mayor, unsa ka mga benepisyo nga madawat no sa mga residente sa Del Carmen gikan sa PALMYRA Siargao? And then at the same time, pila ka katrabaho ang mahatag nili ngadto sa mga lokal o prioritize pa nato ang taga Del Carmen?
So in terms of benefit, daghan from construction towards operations. So imagine na lang the scale of the project. So we're looking at thousands of possible employment. And in preparation for that, Del Carmen also hosts a state university, which really worked hard to be able to ensure that there is the right human resources that can complement investments like this. So we are also building a small hotel in the university to support HRM courses and tourism-related courses. So these are investments we are doing to make sure that the jobs that will be made available can be availed by the locals. Kasi without the capability building and without our ability to provide that capability building, then definitely jobs might go out of to other people that would come in to Siargao. So this is our investment that we have started way back. This is already part and parcel of our initiatives. That's why investors are enticed to come, because we are preparing all aspects of what is needed by the investor to make sure that their cost of doing business is not very high, because you can now attract the right people who are from the local government and from the locality that can support expected technical capacity to run operations of this scale. Definitely, if you look at the whole supply chain, there's a lot more that we could do, from direct and indirect investments that will be brought to by the investment of PALMYRA. To cite an example is the supply of raw materials like our seafood, the fish, the crabs. Hosting a large mangrove forest has a lot of benefits. So we have really tasty crabs. I could guarantee you, if you're not allergic and you're in Siargao, you should try the Del Carmen crabs, the lobsters, all high-value marine produce that can complement a luxury investment like this. We have those locally sourced. We are also doing a lot of agricultural investments right now so that we could complement requirements coming from the vegetable farmers to complement salad and the vegan revolution that are taking increased demand right now. But we have also our local meat with the reintroduction of our own Caraga chicken, the black chicken from Caraga, and the reintroduction of our the black pigs, also native to the Caraga region. So all of these things are being put into play already, preparing our constituency to complement the demand that will be generated from these investments. So there's a lot more, and together with other institutions like TESDA, we are also developing capacity building efforts in terms of construction support. So there's a lot of excitement that will be generated once full construction operations will be in play, and at the same time, as they slowly transition towards operations, then we have the right manpower to complement it.
So mga how many kami yun?
I'm not really sure, because it might be easier for Architect Emmy to respond to that.
Just estimate. Rough estimate lang.
How many people would be employed or required?
For the first phase, it will be for the locals only, because the skilled one will be really coming from the contractors. So we will be looking the local laborers. Would you imagine hiring 500 local laborers to do that? So what would be the impact even on the neighborhood sari-sari store, even on the load, the loading system, because it's very important. And you can just imagine how it would uplift life if these 500 people local will be given. And of course, if we will prioritize from Del Carmen, we'll not be getting first with the other the other municipality. So that's it.
Follow up lang, bisan unsa ka nindot sa proyekto, tunay uban nga di malipay ba, dunay mga kabalaka. So unsa man ang inyong mensahe sa mga residente nga dunay kabalaka bahin sa epekto sa proyekto sa kinaiyahan o kultura diha sa Del Carmen?
So as a practice in Del Carmen, when we do big programs and projects, even for government, we have this thing we call tambayayong. So it's Surigao known for coming together. There's a lot of participatory process that we do. So they're already part of the development, as we say. So dili ni alien sa ila. They're part of the whole story as this unfolds. They were consulted from the start kung if this is something that they are envisioning as well to be part of, because there should be acceptance with the whole, especially with the host community. So we went through that process, and kung wala yun, we will also not pursue. But we were conscious of trying to make them appreciate and understand what this can mean for them and for their families in the future of investments like this, and how rural governments are being trusted by large investors, that we could now take programs like this. So hopefully this will not only inspire, not just within Siargao, but also other rural areas in the country, that if you do the proper way of developing your governance efforts, your policies, then eventually investors would like to go to you. Not because you have a very nice natural asset, which is standard wherever in the Philippines, but because they realize that the government is there for them. The government is there to support private investors to make sure that growth is experienced and inclusive. So the process of trying to get this off the ground was done by the book. Good participatory discussions. Again, this will not end just because the project has already started, but it is a continuing process of making people understand and appreciate how this will impact the current generation and the future generations. So we're grateful that they are also uncompromising in terms of getting the right permits, getting people to really understand what this investment also means for the investors. So it's a win-win for all if everyone understands the role in terms of how the investment process is being done.
Just one question for Chairman Lynie. Why have we decided to launch or hold the grand launching of this project here in Cebu? Why not in Siargao?
Okay, number one for now is the investors is we have no international flight pa in Siargao. No, so with regards to the visitors, no, and coming pa. So with regards to the visitors, for now we are looking that the Cebu is the center of the traveling from the other country, and of course even to the national. So muna ang reason. And also number two, wala pa ang PALMYRA SIARGAO. So we need a like this na facilities to accommodate sa ingon aning grand launching. So that's why PALMYRA SIARGAO Resort and Residences can accommodate, same with the New Star. Yes, convention, yeah.
We're actually doing MICE already. So we're just to share with everyone, we are already doing MICE, not in the scale that we would want, but we're already doing it. In fact, this February, na delayed lang. We were supposed to do it last July. We're hosting the World Design Organization's Inter-Design Residency. So it's 50 countries visiting Del Carmen and Siargao to delve on how do we design for small islands globally to address impacts of climate change. So we're hosting many of similar small-scale MICE events this coming October. If you will be joining us, then we're also hosting the Siargao Climate Week, which will invite many experts in terms of climate adaptation and mitigation, looking into small islands as we are introducing archipelagic thinking, which is very new in the Philippines, but should have been done long time ago because we are an archipelagic country. And again, the regular surfing cups that we are hosting, and now we are hosting the World Championship Tour. It's part of the global tour network. So there's a lot of MICE events that are already happening, not just on the scale that we would want, but hopefully soon. As Del Carmen also is, hopefully will finish its construction of a convention facility that can accommodate at least 2,000 people already. Thank you.
Follow up, Mayor. For the digital nomad program ba, unsay development na ana? Di ba na ito'y bill ni Kong Bingo? Yeah.
So for the digital nomad, the story is that after the typhoon, Super Typhoon Odette, we were looking for an industry that would allow us to be a little bit more resilient as we are facing more threats in terms of climate crisis. And we looked into digital nomads as an opportunity. And we hosted the first Philippine Digital Nomad Summit as one of our MICE events in October 2023. Then we started collaborating with Congressman Mingo Matugas and a lot of the other representatives and the Senate. Eventually, last May 2025, the President signed executive order for the digital nomad visa. We are just waiting for the IRR, and it's already a year into the executive order, but I think there's just a little bit more refinement in terms of expectations on how we are managing the visa, the granting of the visa versus other Southeast Asian countries, so that we could be ahead. There's a lot of digital nomad movement. There's around 50 to right now, if I'm not mistaken with the number, it's already a 50 to 100 million digital nomads that are going around. But Siargao is already hosting a regular digital nomad event every November. We have hosted since 2023 three events already. And hopefully this coming November as well will be hosting again a digital nomad camp. So it goes around Asia and Southeast Asia specifically as part of the digital nomad culture. So we are very much aware of what's happening, and we are really excited of what it can do, not only for tourism, but how it will change rural development. As a digital nomad right now, in the terms of how we are managing industries, unlike before, a singular person can establish an entirely different enterprise within a rural area. Before, development and economic activities are driven by establishing factories. That was the old developmental model. But now, singular digital nomad can establish an enterprise that creates a very unique supply chain within a small community and drive unique cash flows coming from wherever in the world. So we are hopeful that this executive order will finally finally move forward so that we could really start realizing digital nomads in the Philippines.
One final question from my end, Mayor. I would like to ask about the tourist arrivals, specifically for Del Carmen, and how many, carrying capacity sa municipality. Thank you.
So in terms of tourism arrival, we are complementary to the primary destinations, General Luna. At peak, we are around 300 to 1,000 tourists a day. That's with the current program we have right now with Suba Lagoon. We have also ongoing activities to complement the PALMYRA growth. We are introducing boat baskets, a very unique one. So it's a round boat that would go around the mangrove forest. So it's very exciting because I don't know if you've tried a round boat. It's very cute. No, Masin is a regular boat. So in Del Carmen, we're introducing, together with ADB, we have just finished the program, and we are launching a full scale this coming August. So there's a lot of activities that are complementary to the island. We're also investing in terms of the upland. We call it Siargao Peak, because we host also the uplands of Siargao. We're also introducing cultural villages. Again, all complementary to how to support the investments of PALMYRA and other investors similar to what they're trying to do. So there is increased traffic we are seeing, And we're hoping that there will be more with all of these current experiences and packages that we are developing to complement again the investments that we are seeing.
Accommodation, Mayor, how many now?
Mostly the whole island, I think there are almost 2,000 in terms of small. In Del Carmen alone, we have only homestays. So we have 500 plus rooms available anytime. That's why we could do a different type of MICE event. But of course, with the arrival of PALMYRA, we're very excited to do different type of MICE activities that now will focus on high-end activities but also high impact towards our communities.
Nobody's asking about why there is no IRR on the Nomad app.
Why?
In 1 year.
Why?
It must have been very intellectually challenging IRR that is going to be crafted. I think there should be a call also for that.
Dito.
It's not that.
Di ba na may council sa digital nomad something here?
The IRR is under it's an immigration
Ang
issue.
call ba, Mayor?
There is already a call.
There is.
There's a regular call. There's a regular demand, especially from DOT, because other countries are already developing the increasing number of space for digital nomads. So,
But ang problem sa kuno sa Siargao for digital nomads is the connection, the stability of internet. Because there is no yet fiber optic.
oh, we have.
Already?
Yes, we have FOCs already, and even the government has already cabled lines. And there's still a growing support from Starlink.
Healthcare
So
sa
there-
DI, Mayor.
When it comes
to the healthcare.
Healthcare, yes.
Healthcare, we have already the Siargao Island Medical Center. It's already a tertiary level care that's now being constructed, and there's a lot more investments coming in to support dialysis, specific supports for stroke patients. So there's a lot of specialized support. It's not just centralized. So that's why it's a different model of development, because we have those in play, but they're not centralized similar to other centers. And I think that's something that we need to be open and explore, again, as an archipelagic country. So there might be distributed facilities within a particular small island, but they are going to be available very soon.
Hello, good day. Ayon kay Sir John Fuentes, rating for the Manila Times, My TV, and for Proud Bisaya by page. So I'll be asking a different question. So, hi architect, I'm really intrigued of how the whole PALMYRA looks like. So what's the inspiration behind the design? And I know that there will be a food village curated one. So as what said now, by Jollibee or Starbucks, but there will be lifestyle center open. So are we welcoming luxurious brand from outside the country?
Yeah, when it comes to specialization of boutique, that's very open. But when it comes to the food, it should be localized. But then again, we talk about architecture. The design team, who is really the masters of this design, is architect Ryan Katubig. I act as the project management director. But when it comes to the basic thing of the concept, we will be able to identify vernacular architecture. So meaning to say vernacular, sa Bisaya pa ba, vernacular. So when you talk on that matter, there would be no alien design like brutalism, no Gothic architecture, no Romanist architecture, so it would be vernacular. What is the basic vernacular thing that you see in Del Carmen? Lubi, mangroves, no? So when you talk about that, get an inspiration of those mangroves, get an inspiration of those coconut trees, and that's why it's called PALMYRA, no? Because you know it comes blend with all those family, the lubi, the PALMYRA, the palwa. So that is really the epitome of why PALMYRA came into it. There's the letter Y because of Lynie, no? It's not the regular Paul. So that is the idea. So going back to the entire architecture, I hope you appreciate that when we say vernacular architecture, because this is one thing that we have to preserve. No, what is in Del Carmen? We don't want to introduce new type of architecture there. Kaya maparihas niya tas buhol nga like butang dito sa sa Chocolate Hills. as our architects, we have to be very responsible on how we can define an art, no? And especially in a protected area, we have to blend with it, and it's not easy to create. Mind you, Mayor and the rest, and Attorney and Chairman, I am a pollution control officer, Ma'am Wang, so you are in good hands. If there's one person to say no, it would be me. Otherwise, I would be eating up my principles with the presence of Mayor and Attorney. So we don't want to put our client in a bad shape. But definitely, sir, I hope you're all excited. Is this the first time for you to hear the so-called vernacular architecture? Yes. And so that would be the trend today. Okay, have I answered your question properly? Thank you.
May I also add in terms of food?
In terms of the food culture, we are also promoting a slow food, which is now a big thing in the Philippines. So there's Slow Food Siargao, which focuses on hereditary and indigenous food practices. So that's what we're also trying to promote. So hopefully all of us would embrace what's truly ours, diba, in the Philippines.
So that's why wala Jollibee, wala McDonald's.
That's for them to decide.
No, but in
Regulatory ako,
Siargao,
regulatory.
wala pa, di ba? Wala pa.
Wala pa.
But na-ando.
So nakadungog na mo slow food tayo ha, nas fast food. Slow food.
Hello, good afternoon, Jimrey of SMNI. It's good thing na nadunggan mo ang concept about design. But for the construction itself, Ma'am Lynie, why do you choose the 3 big contractors? What's the reason behind? And of course, you know, you have the reason nga nung sila yung ginakuha.
Okay. Number 1, because of their expertise and commitment. That's the best answered. And also, with all the 3 contractors, we visited their projects. And we all know the ECQ is the one who built the kingdom. Yeah, and kung makita ninyo ang kingdom, makaingon gid mo nga, the PALMYRA SIARGAO is good hands, good siya. No? So, and another contractors is from Cebu, which is Deep Earth, and they specialize on the environmental. So they give us the analysis of the environment process. And third is from Luzon. So kabalugid ta nga sahay ang mga Bisaya ubos ra gyud. So for sure the APN is their high standard when it comes to construction, which is from Luzon. So we have 3 contractors from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Thank you.
Alright, mauna no, atong nadunggan mga partners ang gipahigayong press conference sa PALMYRA SIARGAO. So last episode na nato ni no, kay cut nito ni into 2 episodes para masayran gyud nato no. Una ang episode sa mga opening statement nila ug karong second episode nato ang Q&A. And hopefully no sa mga naminaw karon, mga potential buyers, investors, grab the opportunity. You can check the PALMYRA SIARGAO no sa ilang official contact. Wait ha. palmyrasiargao.com no, ilang website o sa ilang official Facebook page, PALMYRA SIARGAO pod na official Facebook page. Kung na may questions, go ahead no, pangutanan ninyo. Daghang opportunity dito mga partners. Very promising nga lugar no ang PALMYRA SIARGAO. So, din tapos atong programang Serbisyong Kapartner ng Bayan. Salamat kayo sa pagpaminaw. O syempre, Kauban sa technical side, Kapartner Philips Discerner sa transmitter, si Ma'am Eileen, ang atong manager, and of course, sa tinutubok ang family sa Sunshine Media na production. Salamat kayo mga kapartner. Sa Diyos manalangin ka na sa sunod episode, ay nyo kalimti ang Serbisyong Kapartner ng Bayan.
Kanto ang tulumanong Serbisyong Kapartner ng Bayan. Ubani kami ninyo sa sunod na higayon. Matag Lunes hangtod Biyernes sa susamang oras, 1:00 hangtod 12:00 hapon. Dinhi lamang sa DYAR 765 SMNI Radio Cebu.